In this video, we'll give you one pitcher and one hitter you must draft from every team in the National League East. I'm Alan Seslowsky along with Jeff Erickson from RotoWire.com. Jeff, let's start with the Atlanta Braves. Who's the player that you're targeting right now in your drafts?
I mean, it's almost all of them, Alan. I love the Braves lineup this year, but I'm going Matt Olson, typically getting him in the fourth round of drafts. What I like about Matt Olson is it's year two in Atlanta. He's settled in, and they did away with a lot of the shifts. And I think I'm going to be getting a lot of left-handed pull hitters this year. He's someone that's going to benefit from the shift limitations in baseball. So I think there's 40 homer potential, and I think you're going to see a big spike in batting average compared to last year.
Do you see his ADP moving up into the third round?
It's possible, because I think if you look at first baseman, he's the last of that tier.
All right, give me an Atlanta pitcher that you like right now.
I'm going with Risel Iglesias, right at the the last of the top tier closers in my opinion. A couple closers I'm less comfortable with, like Devin Williams, Ryan Helsley. So my top tier close is a little bit faster. Iglesias is definitely one of my targets there. I put him on the same plane as like Ryan Presley, as in just after Josh Hader. I'm going to get him a lot of times.
Sticking with the arms, who's the Miami pitcher that you're targeting in some of your drafts right now?
Surprisingly, a lot of choices here, Alan. You think Miami is a tough team. They're not going to contend, but they have a great staff to the point where they felt like they could trade Pablo Lopez and add a hitter, and they still have a competition for the rotation of viable arms. I'm going to go with Jesus Luzardo, getting him around pick 150 in the NFBC in the last couple of weeks. High strikeout upside, especially if you go with a hitting heavy strategy early on. Say you go seven hitters, 3 pitchers in your top 10. Luzardo is there for you to make up some ground in strikeouts. There's a durability question. There's volatility involved, which is why you get him at this price. But I like what Miami did with him, and I think in year 2 there, he's going to be pretty strong.
Which Miami batter is showing great value in early drafts?
Gene Segura is the guy I'm going to go with here. He's around 225 or later in many cases. If you wait on second baseman, he does something of everything. He's not going to win a category for you. Guys like this, the world needs dish diggers too. He is a perfect guy for that. He's a building block type of guy.
Let's talk about Mets pitchers. Who you been drafting?
Justin Verlander in the third round a lot. In a 15-team draft, fourth round, and a 12-team draft. He goes behind some of the other younger, trendier arms. And that's fine with me. Don't think he's going to repeat the ratios he did last year. Those were sick. Those are unprecedented for a man of his age coming off of his injury. But I do think the durability is less of a concern here. I'm going to be getting a lot of, because I think there's others that go ahead and pick up on him a little bit sooner.
Mets batters, are you paying up for anybody, or are you letting a value fall to you?
Oh, I'm paying up. I'm paying up for Francisco Lindor, last of the shortstops of his tier. 5th shortstop typically taken. This is end of the second round, beginning of the third. Say if you started off your draft and you went with Ronald Acuna, or you went with Aaron Judge, or you went, anybody not named Trey Turner with that first pick. Lindor pairs very well with them.
All right, Philly. I want to know who the arm is that you've been targeting so far.
Zack Wheeler. I think this is year 2 of this. I like Aaron Nola too, don't get me wrong. Zack Wheeler is just as steady as it gets, and you get a little bit of a discount on him. You're getting him in the 5th round as opposed to the 3rd round. Sometimes you have to pay up to the 4th. This might be exactly the type of pitcher whose ADP rises as we get closer to the NFBC main event, as we get closer to opening day. We get a little bit of starting pitcher attrition. Wheeler, I think, is as steady as it gets. I want a lot of Wheeler in my leagues this year.
With the Philly bats, are you going chalk, or is there someone a little bit more sneaky that you've been targeting?
This is a comeback player, Nick Castellanos, working with Kevin Long, moving a little closer to the plate, getting better plate coverage. Players in the second year in a city, after a contract, after a big deal. He may not repeat what he did in 2021 with the Reds, but he's going to be better than he was last year too. I think Mar Power's coming back. Go get him on a little bit of on a discount.
Let's talk about the Nationals. Who's the arm that you seem to be drafting?
There's not a Nationals pitcher I'm regularly drafting, but I'd consider Mackenzie Gore. I think that in Kyle Finnegan, if I'm really waiting on closers, is a possibility too. But Mackenzie Gore didn't pitch with the Nationals after the trade last year. There's obviously a lot of volatility and risk associated, but that's why you're getting him after pick 300. You don't reach up to get him. You take him as one of those pile of arms that you take at the end of drafts as a streamer. Of course, the team context is a problem. You're not going to get as much run support. You're not going to get as good bullpen support. I think there's a high strikeout upside for him.
Last, let's talk about the Nationals hitters. Who do you like more than the ADP?
Joey Meneses. I think there's a big fear out there that he's going to go Frank Schwindel on us, in that he's a late bloomer that's withers away the following year. I think he's more legit than that. I like that he's first base outfield eligible. He doesn't have a 0 in speed. He has a little bit of speed. He's not going to hit 325 again. We know that. He could hit 285 with some power. I'll take that.
If you enjoy videos like this, consider hitting the like, subscribe, and ring the bell to get notifications when we put up new video content every week. And right now, you can check out RotoWire's prospect rankings and premium content for free. Just go to rotowire.com/try. And to see the rest of the videos in this must draft, must avoid series, we've linked them all in the video description below.